What's good, guys? Prince Sports here, coming at you with another one. Raw sports stimulus package. Unbiased, raw talk, just straight from the dome. Okay, today I wanted to talk about Kevin Durant and LeBron James. What is the difference between these two guys? Because they got similar things in common, but they're two different players. They two different sides of the coin. They're yin and yang in many ways, even if they do things that's similar to each other, right? Now, you got a guy in Kevin Durant and LeBron James. They're pros, okay? Kevin Durant is a great scorer, an underrated defender, all right? LeBron James is a great passer, and he's a good help defender, okay? And he's a better all-around player than Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's a better scorer than LeBron James, all right? So that's their pros. Now, their cons, okay? Their cons is a couple, but they're two complete different, okay? Now, my grandpa, okay, he always says, Prince, if you want to know about somebody, if you want to know what somebody really about, all you have to do is sit down and shut the fuck up and listen. That's all you have to do. Listen. And based off my facts and evidence that's presented in front of us, I could come down to a conclusion of what these guys are about and what personality and what type of character these guys display when it comes to playing basketball. Okay? Now, you can start off with Kevin Durant. All right? Kevin Durant, unlike LeBron James, is a very emotional, a very sensitive guy. Okay? He doesn't want the burden of being called an alpha. Okay? Now, this is suggested in many things when he even said out of his own self that he doesn't consider himself like an alpha. He doesn't want to be considered an alpha. All right? So this is the guy that has the talent of an alpha, but the mindset of a number two. This is why him and Westbrook didn't work, because Westbrook had that mindset of an alpha, but the talent of a number two. All right? So this is why Westbrook was often considered the big brother, while Kevin Durant was the guy getting behind him. Okay? Now, that's completely different for LeBron James. LeBron James doesn't lack confidence. Okay? If anything, LeBron James is very pampered and more diva-like, because ever since the age of 17, LeBron James has been pampered by the media and the NBA and crowned this and that before he even stepped foot on the court. Okay? So he's used to getting things his way, all right? And he surrounds himself around people that are yes, ma'am, okay? Guys that, yeah, LeBron, you're this, you're that. He doesn't want to be criticized, okay? And he wants to be praised for the most part. Now, Kevin Durant, complete opposite. He hates the media. He don't want to have nothing to do with the media. But LeBron James is an attention whore. He wants to have everything to do with the media, but he wants the media to like him. So if you say something negative about LeBron James, okay, he will try to get you canned, or he will try to get you canceled, okay? Or you probably be called a hater when you're just talking about basic criticism of a basketball player. Now, you have LeBron James, who's a stat pattern, okay? He's a guy that often loves stats. Now, you may say, where's the proof? Well, here's the proof. You got to go by the examples in action. Whenever you wear a shirt that says, check my stats, you're pretty much indicating that you're a guy that loves stats, okay? You wear what you are, okay? You see, right now, I got a PlayStation shirt, indicating what? I like PlayStation, all right? I'm repping for it. So if you're a Crip, you're going to wear blue to indicate to the world of what you are, okay? You are what you wear, you know, is an indication of your personality. So when you do stuff like that, that's what, you know, you're trying to do. LeBron James is also media savvy. He also likes controlling the narrative, because he don't have the talent to be really called the GOAT on a basketball court because of so much flaws as a basketball player, mainly offensively. But if he can't do it on the basketball court, what he can do is control it with the media. Okay, he'll come up with excuses to why he loses. He'll throw teammates under the bus. All right, anything to make himself look good if he loses. Okay, now you may say Kevin Durant is the complete opposite. Okay, Kevin Durant don't want the spotlight, but he constantly gets the spotlight on him because we see him as having alpha talent, but he don't believe in himself. He has very low confidence. He's very mentally weak. Okay, Kevin Durant's more mentally weak than LeBron James. All right, now the reason for super teams is completely different as well. LeBron James is the originator of the big three super teams. Okay, but the only difference is with LeBron James is he made or came up with this idea because he wanted to have an unfair balance over the league. He wanted to make sure and guarantee that he has an easy path to winning by eliminating the competition by playing with them. Okay? This is why you get quotes like Charles Barkley saying, "Oh, he don't want to compete. He want to play with everybody." LeBron James co-signed that himself. Ask me, do I want to play with Luka? Ask me, do I want to play with this guy? These are all facts. These are all things that took place. Okay? These are all things the guys said out of their mouth. Okay? LeBron James even quoted that even more. Take a good look when he's on stage with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. He says, "Oh, this is going to be easy. Not one, not two, not three." Because in his mind, he looked at it as, there's nobody that's going to beat us. This is going to be easy, So that was his format to stacking the deck. He didn't want to be or even take the risk of somebody being better than him. So the best way to do that is by eliminating the competition and getting as much talent on your team as possible. All right, Kevin Durant's motive for a super team is completely different a little bit. It's more cowardly. Okay, this is a guy that doesn't believe in himself too much. So it's like, if you can't beat him, join him. So he gets slapped in the face, right, by the Golden State Warriors. Perfect example. Now, instead of coming back to beat those guys, he said, "Hey, it'd be more easier if I join you guys. I don't have to be the number one. I could just sit back and let Steph Curry take the show." The only problem is, once you got to the team, you probably realize that, hey, I got more talent than these guys. So I'm back stuck in the same position where I have to force to be an alpha again, and I don't want to do it. And same thing with Kyrie Irving. You let Kyrie Irving talk you out of going to the Knicks because your initial idea was to go to the Knicks. But since you're a follower, Kyrie Irving was easy to persuade you because he's mentally stronger than you. So what he did was, hey, come to Brooklyn because that's my goal. You're going to follow me. And Kevin Durant, sure enough, followed Kyrie Irving. And you can see perfect examples of that he wants to hide behind Kyrie Irving now. But he can't do it because he's still presumed as the better basketball player. So until you find a player that's better than Kevin Durant, skill-wise, and has a more better advantage than Kevin Durant, he would never be what he wants to be, which is a number two. He will always have that pressure of trying to be a number one by the media. This is why he often feels defensive against the media. He often feels that he has to clap back at the media because he feels like, hey, why you guys are making fun of me? Why you guys are putting me on blast? We're putting you on blast because you have the talent of an alpha, but you don't want to be it. Okay? There's another thing. He don't want to accept the challenge per se. He only will accept a challenge if he's playing with a stack deck and he can run and hide behind somebody. But he don't want to face somebody head on. He fears competing against players. So his heart pumps Kool-Aid. Great flavor. While LeBron James's heart pumps Kool-Aid as well, but different flavor. Let's just say cherry flavor. The only difference is their reasoning for joining super teams are two complete different. LeBron James is egotistic, while Kevin Durant's ego and confidence is very down. Okay? One wants to be pampered, the other guy just wants to be left alone. And he doesn't want to have that burden of being the number one. That's their difference. Okay? One has more cowardly, yellow spine going down his back. The other guy is too big for his bridges. Okay? He's really not what he wants to be in terms of that, which is the granddaddy of them all, Now, LeBron James is the type of guy that doesn't like to be shown up. He erased the tape of him getting dunked on, all right? Jason Tatum dunked on him. He never challenged Jason Tatum again because he don't like being embarrassed and he don't like taking the risk of somebody showing and proving on him. So he would lay back and let somebody else do it. Now, I guaranteed you he'd be like, hey, you go and guard Jason Tatum. I'm not taking the risk of getting dunked on again. Because LeBron likes controlling media narrative. Notice when they lost to the Golden State Warriors, he waited to them to lose to come out with that cast on his arm to control the narrative because he doesn't want people to look at him in a different manner. Image and presentation means a lot to LeBron James. That's his whole stick, basically. All right? He cares a lot about stats. He checks the stat sheet. He's an extreme guy that has a huge ego, and that ego cannot be bumped off. All right? Opposite from Kevin Durant. If LeBron James is a WWE performer, he'd be Ric Flair, dirtiest player in the game. He looks to cheat and looks to get every advantage that he could possibly get for it to be unfair towards his competition because he don't want to see competition. He don't want to take the risk. Kevin Durant would be Virgil. He'd be getting spacked around the $1 Million Man because he likes being behind somebody. He's a guy that if the leader says something, he'll be in the back, be like, yeah, what he said, nigga. That's Kevin Durant, okay? Even though he's 7 foot tall, he don't have the cojones of a 7 foot guy that wants to take the challenge, okay? He's often called Cupcake for a reason because people presume him as being soft, all right? This is where these nicknames come from. LeBron James is called Queen James or a diva because he pouts and moans till he get what he wants, okay? He's extremely pampered, and the NBA made that monster, and that's the difference between these two guys, all right? Yin and yang, they both have reasons for doing what they do, but it's completely different. Prince Sports out. Peace.